Trax is sponsored by Can-Am. We're built for this. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation. And by Yamaha, conquer outdoors.
CKMP is a place we typically visit under meters of snow and searching out fresh powder in the most unique and remote locations. But for today, we're in beautiful British Columbia during the late summer to experience a new product from Can-Am and truly put the Maverick Sport 60-inch to the test. With all hands on deck, we were able to speak directly with Jean-Jacques Rivet, Can-Am's side-by-side product manager, about this impressive new product and precisely where Can-Am sees it fitting in to their impressive off-road lineup.
So the Maverick Sport and Maverick Trail have many similarities. If you look at the interior of the vehicle and the frame itself, it's the same thing, but there's some differentiating factors. One of those is it's not just a vehicle that we added 60-inch wider arms on. There's a lot of calibration that went into it. We know that people that like to do trail riding, they want to have fun, and it allows for a little bit of oversteer while being very predictable in the handling. To have as much fun as possible while being optimal and predictable in the driving. So the key differentiators, the width as we talked about. There's also the fact that the Maverick Sport is featuring Fox shocks, HPG shocks, and we developed a premium door for the vehicle. The door is wider than on the trail, allowing for the driver and passenger to have 2.5-inch more elbow room on each side, and that does a really big difference. But also, it wasn't just about being allowing to have more space. Design perspective, the line of sight matches the vehicle, and the ergonomics, whether it's the handle on the outside or the handle where you're riding in the vehicle, are very ergonomically designed. And we also added a seal to it. You close the door, it's nice and tight. There's no rattle from it, and it protects from having water enter the vehicle. So going wider allowed us to have some better ground clearance. So on the Maverick Trail, we have 10 inches, and on the Maverick Sport, we have 12. And 2 inches may sound not as a big number, but when you're going out and you're riding in some very rocky terrain, you can attack some pretty big rocks, and you never get any scrubbing under the vehicle. Suspension travel was improved, so we have 12 in the rear, 11.5 inches in the front, doing a big difference in absorbing those shocks and keeping the vehicle nice and stable and making sure you have good handling. A big part of the story is not just having that suspension travel, but it's combining the longer wheelbase, and that allows for much better predictable handling as you're driving. So it's 1 year maintenance free to allow people to really go out riding and minimize the cost of ownership. In research, we found it was a priority. Lots of people like to do the maintenance on their own. The engineering team made sure that all the access points, the maintenance items that need to be done on a more regular basis can be easily accessed to and done at home by the average do-it-yourselfer.
Can-Am is a company who's focused on performance and fun, but they haven't forgot about those of us who like to do our own upkeep and maintenance, and I really feel like there's an open ear to the consumer, and instead of telling us what we need, they're asking us what we want, and I think that is going to pay off huge.
So Maverick Sport, we offer it in 2 packages. So we have a standard package and we have a DPS version also. The standard package is available in a 1000 engine delivering 75 horsepower, where the DPS version is available in that 1000 and 1000R delivering 100 HP. And really the difference between the two is the DPS version features the Can-Am dynamic power steering, which customers really appreciate. We were able to keep a very good balance in order to have enough assistance, but keep that sporty feeling when you're driving. And also the DPS version has painted panels on it for a more premium look. LED signature on it because the Maverick Sport, just like the Trail, and the Maverick X3, they're all Maverick, so we need to have that distinct signature on it with the lines, the lights, and then the LED signature on the more premium models. And also features some stitching in the interior. And we have the intelligent throttle control, on the DPS version that has 2 modes. So we have a Eco mode and a Sport mode. And the difference between those two is that the Eco mode is 70% of the power that you have access to. So really what it gives, you have more travel on your gas pedal. so that when you're going in tough conditions, you don't get that vehicle rocking as much as you would. It's more to have a stable ride. It's nice when you have a passenger or when you're going in very tough terrain.
JJ is a really interesting guy, and he truly understands what side-by-side riding is all about. After talking about the comfort, the power, and the performance, there's nothing more than I wanted to do than break out of the closed course riding area and really go put the Maverick Sport to the test. And when you're in the beautiful mountains of British Columbia, how could we not?
Dirt Trax is sponsored by Princess Auto, a unique world of equipment, tools, and more. Closed captioning of Dirt Trax is sponsored by MBRP Power Sports, race-inspired performance.
So I put some seat time in on the new Maverick Sport 60-inch wide. Today I'm running the 1000R version, so we're at 100 horsepower. This thing's been designed for 60-inch wide. They've changed a whole bunch of stuff. The doors, there's 5.2 inches more room. The cockpit is the Ergolock cockpit, so I fit in here really nice. There's no hard edges, there's no sharp stuff to contact your knees, or you're not bumping into anything. The seat is planted, it feels nice, it doesn't rattle or shake around. I'm really impressed with the power of the 1000R. It's putting it to the ground in a way that feels very linear and smooth. If you want it to go through the rocks, just put it in eco mode or, crawl over the trees. It kind of gives you that nice modulated input. So the power steering is, I would say, slightly on the more stiff side, and I prefer that because when I'm going fast, the last thing I want is a twitchy steering wheel. The drive-by-wire throttle system, they've really cleaned this thing up. It's not jumpy anymore. It's like they've smoothed out that input curve and made it so you're still getting all of the power. Braking input is great. Really, really solid brakes. They perform well. I feel like I'm driving a little Baja truck because you got the full doors, you're sealed kind of in. You feel more protected when you're going through corners and you're really stirring stuff up, bouncing rocks off of trees. You're not getting anything coming back in. You're not getting dust swirling in. And especially if you come in contact with some trees or some sticks, which we have. I'm really enjoying this side-by-side. I like it a lot. And honestly, if I had to take like top 5 things I don't like, I couldn't give you 5. Feels great, it does what it's supposed to, and I'll tell you what, in the 60-inch category right now, I'm not sure what holds a candle to this thing. It's like Can-Am was able to hit the wheelbase, width, and suspension marks perfectly to provide an incredibly stable, yet trailable width that's not too much and conversely not too little. The 75 horsepower from the 1000 is good, but the extra 25 ponies from the 1000R, it's where I feel at home. Not sacrificing anything and really giving you enough usable power to not just feel like there's something left in every situation, but still accelerate hard while heading up in the mountains. The Fox Podium 2.0 shocks are soaking up a world of abuse, and I've not found the bottom yet. Is that the 12 inches of ground clearance or the expertly set up suspension with the 12 inches out back and 11.5 up front? I guess it's truly the harmony of both. If you hid the brand name of this side-by-side from me and told me to go push the limits, I gotta be honest, I'd argue that it's the best performing, most comfortable 60-inch side-by-side that I have ever got behind the wheel of, with build quality and refinements that are hard to match.
Dirt Trax is sponsored by Shock Strap. Start strapped, stay strapped.
Stock side-by-sides. Well, that's a word to use loosely. These are two of the latest and most interesting machines to hit the market. And while they are factory stock, they come with a ton of power and a lot of suspension, with the only real area to improve being the wheels and tires. But what's big enough, strong enough, and gonna get us more grip? How about the all-new ITP Versa Cross? This tire is the latest and greatest from ITP in their all-terrain lineup, and it is not your average Joe. It's made for the biggest and the baddest side-by-sides out there. Available in 30 and 32-inch sizes, the Versa Cross is an 8-ply radial tire that's the best of ITP's engineering, specifically focused at high horsepower side-by-sides. This tire uses the ITP Tough Tread compound that protects against tread wear, chunking, and cuts in the tread. The Versa Cross has a massively deep rim guard, so you can hit the rocks hard and still have a pretty set of rims when you're done. And the non-directional tread layout with serious reinforced belts and beefy sidewall strength makes for a harder to puncture tire that's going to carry you further through more gnarly conditions at higher speeds, all the while delivering a smooth, compliant ride. Now, these massive beasts aren't just pretty to look at. This 3/4 inch deep lug does a whole lot more than just entice you in the showroom. Obviously, this tread pattern, it's going to get you serious hookup with the ground that you're driving on, but the center lug channels increase grip and allow the tread to conform to the surfaces that they contact. The Versa Cross is the premier all-terrain side-by-side specific tire from ITP, and they claim that it's unmatched in performance and handling on hard-packed. But as for me, I say prove it. So that's exactly what we're gonna do by hooking up our brand new Maverick XRC Turbo R as well as our Polaris Razor RS1 with these brand new 32-inch Versa Crosses that are on different rims, but equally exceptionally good looking. For the XRC Turbo R, we'll be going with the rim that started the ITP Storm Series, the Hurricane. However, this year, there's a really nice new bronze finish that works with the XRC perfectly. With a 1,200-pound capacity, we have more than enough strength, but always remember, ITP rims carry a lifetime limited warranty, and with the ITP exclusive Rock Armor inner wheel lip, you've got unequaled structural integrity. So yeah, you're covered. Hit that jump, crawl that rock section, or go race the best in the Desert Series. These rims are here to go the distance. Now on the RS1, we're not going to be rocking the first rim in the Storm Series, but rather the newest rim in the Storm Series called the Twister. It comes in 14x7 and features all the ITP goodness that you've come to expect. The Rock Armor inner lip, the lifetime limited warranty, and a 1,000-pound load capacity. However, the Twister is not just some new look. This is the first wheel to market that features a left and right design. The reason? ITP wanted to keep forward-facing spokes on all four rims. The only way to do this is with a directional rim design. It's very unique, and it looks perfect on our new RS1. Now aesthetically, I know that both of our rigs look way, way better, but it's time to test out the Versa Cross on hard-packed surfaces and see if ITP's claim to unmatched performance on hard-packed is actually legit. First up is the RS1. I'm going to start out with less power but better sightlines and easier tire placement. It's instantly noticeable that the Versa gets superior traction in contrast to the stock tires. While the 3-inch larger tire size causes a slight change in acceleration, it's fun when we're up to speed, and the typical sidewall roll that we expect is not even slightly evident with the 8 plies holding strong. Likewise, when we switch over to the Maverick XRC Turbo R and add some turbocharged horsepower, setting out on the wider open fire roads, those sidewalls still stay planted and firm, not showing rollover, and yet the Versa Cross tire delivers a smooth ride. That's not typical of an 8-ply tire. We wanted a true all-terrain performance tire that would perform better across a wider range of conditions. The 3/4-inch lug and tough tread compound grip like crazy, and it's instantly noticeable by the front end that's now pulling us through corners, not just spinning. High-speed drifting is confidence-inspiring, and low-speed rock crawling and climbing follows suit. While this isn't the tire that you're going to enter in the mud race, it's a premium example of an all-terrain tire that will do most tasks a high-powered side-by-side could ask of it, with nothing but first-class results. I really feel that ITP delivered on what they said that they would. There's great high-speed performance, incredible stability, and tons of strength here from a company that doesn't just write great brochures. They have amazing reviews from years of customers who are nothing but happy all across the world.
Dirt Trax is sponsored by Argo. Go anywhere.
Earlier this year, Luke did a quick take on the 2019 Wolverine 850. On this episode, we're going to drill down on the new Wolverine 850 X2 r-spec and see what effect the new engine has on both its sport and utility capabilities. The first renditions of the Wolverine arrived powered by Yamaha's 708cc single-cylinder EFI mill. The response from the market was less than exhilarating and mostly understandable. The 708 was a mid-50s horsepower power plant that, in the face of the Wolverine's 100 horsepower competitors, specifically the Polaris General and the Can-Am Commander, was not pulse-pounding. The 2019 Wolverine r-spec comes out of the gate with an 847cc double overhead cam, 8-valve parallel twin, using a 270/90 firing order. Dual 36mm Mikuni throttle bodies get their orders from the pilot through a drive-by-wire throttle control. Yamaha's Ultramatic CVT shoots power through a high-low reverse sub-tranny into an electric shiftable 2x4, 4x4, and 4x4 diff lock transfer case. Wheel travel is set at 8.7 inches up front and 8.9 inches out back. Damping comes from 4 premium KYB piggyback shocks with high and low speed compression and rebound damping adjustability. Electronic power steering is connected to a new tilting steering wheel, while a new 600-pound capacity dumping box now has a one-hand tailgate release. In the US market, there's Yamaha's available Adventure Pro integrated GPS and camera system. 2019 Wolverine specs are much improved this year as a result of Yamaha's incorporation of a number of important upgrades. However, there's one number that does confound us: 70. That's the claimed horsepower of the new 850 Twin. We found the new 850 Twin to be responsive, smooth, and linear in its power delivery. There's little doubt Yamaha's Ultramatic CVT contributes to the engine's overall smoothness and easy-to-ply throttle. In fact, this may be the best CVT tranny in the biz. However, the question remains, is 70 horsepower enough? Wolverine ride quality is confusing. The r-spec's superb shocks come with the compression clickers set way too stiff. It only takes a second with a flat blade screwdriver to adjust the compression clickers and experience vastly improved ride quality. Even with the compression dampening set at full soft, we think the Wolverine would benefit from even less damping under most driving conditions. One thing which needs no fiddling is Yamaha's electric power steering system. This EPS is so transparent you actually forget it's working. We never experienced one incidence of wheel whip while navigating our typically rock-strewn trails. Initial turn-in is soft but exceptionally predictable. Sawing at the wheel as speeds rise can only be described as effortless. There's little doubt Yamaha is listening to the marketplace when it comes to the included competitive features on the Wolverine. The addition of a tilting steering wheel fixes a serious oversight on early Wolverines. And so does the addition of a sumptuous dumping cargo box with a Yamaha first, a single-hand pickup-style tailgate release. The benefit of these 3 items meet the competition head-on. Inasmuch as we are not overly impressed with the Wolverine's power and acceleration, we are impressed with the way the power is delivered to the wheels. There's no annoying throttle surge from your foot wiggling against the gas pedal in rough terrain. The drive-by-wire throttle filters out this annoyance. The Ultramatic CVT engages like butter because it uses a centrifugal clutch to generate engagement, not the CVT V-belt. Essentially, the CVT is always engaged. This eliminates and/or reduces belt wear, belt dust, and belt heat. When the dust settles, it's all about whether the Wolverine meets your expectations. The equation you use to determine this is entirely yours, not ours. Here's what we mean. You may be completely satisfied with the new Wolverine's 70 horsepower twin-cylinder engine's performance because the Wolverine is a Yamaha, and that's your metric for a side-by-side purchase. On the other hand, you may want more power. However, do you actually need more power? No matter what you value most, make sure you thoroughly check out the new Wolverine X2 r-spec before deciding which sport utility vehicle best suits your needs.
Dirt Trax Television has been sponsored by Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation. Can-Am, we're built for this. And by Textron Off-Road, power, performance, and precision engineering.
Make sure you click to subscribe for even more great content on our YouTube channel. Travel stories, test rides, modifications, you name it, we've got it.